Welcome, everybody. It's great to have all of you here. We have one of the hottest day in Europe at this time. And I'm Oliver Sobonia, Market Development Manager in Europe. And it is my great pleasure to be the host of this webinar. And we have a special guest. Let me introduce him to you all. He is a very active network marketing builder since 2003. And he has already reached the top rank in a different company. But when he met with doTERRA in 2017, he left everything behind and started it all over again from the scratch. Since then, he reached Blue Diamond rank, and he's very actively building his business not only in Europe, but in other continents. But you will hear about it in a second. So, Kari, welcome. Great to have you here. How are you?
Yeah, thank you so much. Hey, just hold on. How do I turn this around? Here. Step into my office. This is my office. Here's my doTERRA products right here. I just got I was on a lake all day, and when I was in touch with you like 5 minutes ago, I was still on my bike, and I made a stop right here, this beautiful area. Mm-hmm. Look at this, how nice. And I just realized there are so many mosquitoes, so I need to go to my protocol. I don't know what you guys use, but I like this bergamot mint. This is not available yet, right? It was only like for 1 month, right? Am I right? Bergamot mint.
Yeah, it's a very powerful product. Absolutely.
Yeah, I know. So we don't have any problems, with mosquitoes anymore. That was like one of my biggest problems ever, that summer comes and we have mosquitoes, but not anymore. It's not a problem because, just put these wonderful oils on your skin and mosquitoes will be repelled. So I'm right here for you guys, right here. Yeah. And I hope you guys appreciate, I have a very special relationship with Oliver. Maybe one day, Oliver, we need to talk about that. I think let's make a decision that in a couple of months, you and I will tell all doTERRA our story, you and I, okay? Because that's actually almost as powerful as my own story, what Oliver had done. Anyway, so thank you for hosting this conference.
Kari, thank you very much for being here. And I think it would be nice to start with some personal background. Can you tell us a little bit about, where are you from?
I'm from right here. This is my hometown.
What's the name of the city?
I know. I'm going to tell you. So I'm from not far away from Budapest. It's about 50 miles, about 70 kilometers. It's called Dunói-város, which is at one point was Stalin city. For those Westerners, this is like the old communist bloc. At least it was back then. This is where I grew up. This is where I dreamed up all my crazy dreams back decades ago. And Oliver, you were you were there along the way, so you can actually back me up on that because you knew me 10, 20, 15 years ago. So this is my hometown. This is where I grew up, okay? And because of opportunities and things, that I started doing early in my life, in my early 20s, I expelled, and I was able to purchase a big home up in Budapest and do all the crazy things, what I've done. But this is my hometown, so this is where I'm from, Stalin City.
Stalin City, yeah, I know. Yeah, I lived there for 5 months. It's actually a great place. I love it a lot.
I know, yes.
Yeah. If somebody is describing you when you were a kid, how would they describe you?
Well, there is this one picture that my wife likes showing people. Sometimes, I was invited to give different speeches, at different conferences, in all over the world. And then my wife would come with me. And at this point, I think I did like 6 presentations in Philippines as a guest presenter. And probably by the 3rd night, the host, this one beautiful, incredible person, top position in that company, he said, maybe your wife should be on stage because she knows way more than you do. And I think that is true, wives and, Oliver, you have a big family as well. And I'm sure Etush would know way more about the past and about you than even yourself. So at this one point, she described, she took out one picture. I was in kindergarten, and you could see, first of all, I'm tall, so you could see all the kids, going like this, like one child, one child, one child. That's me, and one child, one child. And all the children were looking in one direction, kind of like with a sad face, so I don't know what was happening. And I'm looked at the other direction, and I was smiling. So I think that picture, which she took out at that day, pretty much describes me, meaning that I always went against the streams. I don't know, like that's my life. Mm-hmm. What if people went that direction, I seem to go the other direction. If they did that, I do that. And you know, Oliver, some of that things that I don't do, what most people do, and whatever they do, I don't do. So I like to be different. I like to have principles that most people might not even be familiar with, or things that I find out, and I followed up on them, and it led me to an incredible status, in 25 years. I'm 49 now, and I started building my own life. So my last job as an employee, there's nothing wrong with being an employee, by the way. If anyone tells you that, network marketers sometimes, they seem to be a little bit of ignorant, that, you just only MLM, and just get out of your employee. No, being employed is beautiful if you work with a good company. But if you realize that you have bigger dreams, or maybe you are capable of doing whatever you are doing for somebody else, I think that's a time, okay, when you need to leave and do something crazy with your life. So my last employment was back in 1994. And I did 2 years of a service. I was a missionary for my church. And when I got off of that, I had this one job in 1996 for 2 months. And that was my last job ever as an employee. And I started doing, just becoming an entrepreneur, setting up businesses, okay. I set up a language school. So all sorts of things, which was really hard. It wasn't easy. That was tough, I can tell you. Because sometimes, when people listen to a story, sometimes, when people hear or see somebody on stage, they don't know all the details. They don't know that how tough it was for me at age 25 in this very town, in this very city, to set up a language school on my own. That was tough in the background. I had the shaking knees. How am I going to do that? Unfortunately, I had my wife, along, and I had this one coach who I really loved. He was at one point the boyfriend of my older sister, and I could always call him, okay, get some advice, okay. So I surrounded myself with the right environment, and I set up my own language school. I started teaching English. I hired people. I had about 150 students, about 6 classes. That was crazy. That was, that grew out of nothing. It's only a dream, okay. I can teach English. And ever since then, I had the drive of I got to do something meaningful, and I have to work for myself. I have to set up a business, okay, because that will support my family, And mm-hmm. I have a big family, by the way, 4 kids. You caught up with me, Olivier, by the way.
Yeah, I did, but you were a great example always for me, with your kids.
Yeah, kids are great, but still, again, kids are great, but still, you need time. You need time and you need money for them, I can tell you, and it should not be an obstacle. So if you're planning on having a family, don't wait until you become rich, or until you feel that now I have the enough amount of money or whatever. Don't do that. But I can tell you again that you need to set some higher standards. And let me tell you, if you set those higher standards, life will happen to you. Things will start happening to you. Don't be afraid of that, okay? So again, I know how hard it is sometimes. I know how it's not easy to take the first step, get out of your comfort zone, or take the first step, okay, from leaving your job or putting some money together, creating a business. It's not easy, I know. Well, let me tell you, if you know that somehow you can do that, just do it. And again, we could actually refer that, to doTERRA and the whole thing, what we do. But MLM is different, fortunately.
Kari, what was your first exposure to network marketing?
So that was back in 1996. Again, after I decided I have to do something for myself. I need to grow up, okay? And I was 24, and my first child, that was a year before. So anyway, I was about to set up a family, and I surrounded myself, okay, with the right books, with the right ideas, that you need to be your own boss. So I attracted this one company. This company was a very good company at that time. I think it was a 5 or 6 year old company, Hungarian company. The owner was really good guy. They had the right product, right time, okay. And I was 24 and I joined it. Now, let me tell you when I really understood the power of what I was getting into. Now, I was 24. I was a young kid. I didn't have a college degree. I didn't have any kind of degrees. And at this one point, when we had this one training up in Budapest, and my team, which was my team, I don't know, 100 people or so, which is pretty cool, by the way, but I was like 100 people, my team. And so we would go up to this one conference, and my team was sitting 2 or 3 rows behind me, like 1 row, 2, 3 rows. That was my team. And I looked back, and I never forget it, that I looked at those people as they were like incredible, normal people. They had cars. They wore like beautiful suits. They had existence, they had a life, they have careers and all that, meaning that they were much older than me. They had way more things than I had. I was living with my grandma, and they was in my company, so to speak. And I was thinking, what on earth could I ever come up with in my life at age 24 that these people would join me? There's no way. There's nothing I can come up with. That's when I made a decision, okay, that this is the greatest thing ever on the planet, that there is a third-party company that has a product to offer. There's a third-party company that has a foundation, an incredible leadership, and people join that company, and somehow, through the compensation plan, I will be rewarded through their businesses. I said, this is the greatest things ever. Nobody can ever come up with a better idea. And by the way, I don't know what else to do. Sorry about this little noise. These guys came down. What else could I come up with? So I was there age 24, and all those incredible people had families. They drove cars, they have homes, and they were in my business. And that's what I said, that, hey, I will never do anything else. And I kept true to that. But unfortunately, and this is let me just answer to that, Oliver, because it's very important to the doTERRA story, that you need to pick the right company. And obviously, I'm much wiser now, 20 plus years later, almost 30 years later, that you need to be very careful, okay, when you pick a company, because most company will never make it. Just like my first MLM company, Hungarian company, very attractive, incredible guy. The owner was such a good guy, okay, that after he left the network marketing industry, he became a doula. Doula is a guy who actually, at present, when a child is being born, like, he's there, he's helping, with giving birth. And I invited him to my home, to my house, to the birth of my fourth child, and he was there as a doula. That's how incredible he was. But still, that doesn't make a company right, or doesn't make it a long-lasting company, because the owner is a cool guy and has a good idea. So that was a good story for me, and you need to be very careful. And now you need to appreciate doTERRA, because obviously I did my homework, and I sat down, with 3 or 4 founders. I had to make a big decision, but that's a different story we could cover later. But going back to that company failed, okay, and that's why I advise people, you need to be very careful, because most companies fail. In fact, almost all of them, 99%, will never make it to 100 million, let alone $1 billion company. It's only like 20 companies that ever made it up to $1 billion level. And it's about 500,000 companies that were started internationally. Can you see the numbers? Only 20 companies out of 500,000 companies ever made it to $1 billion level. That's insane. That's your chances of your company's survivor is like almost 0 points whatever. So when it comes to doTERRA, you really need to appreciate, okay, that these guys are really stable. They are very formed. Not only nice guys, but they know what they are doing, and they have their incredible background. So that's very important. So that was my first M&M company, and I kept true to my to that experience, what I felt, and I joined another company, kind of like half-heartedly, And then I joined my third company, which I took it up to the highest level. And that led me to doTERRA. Mm-hmm. So that is my answer to your question. That's how I found this industry.
Thank you. And what do you think? What is it that the most people sometimes misunderstand about network marketing?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. There are several answers, but I think most of the misunderstanding comes from their own misunderstanding. So they are not ready, or they are not open, or they just don't perceive it as a concept. So MLM, network marketing, is a concept. There's nothing wrong with it. It cannot be. And when sometimes people tell me, oh, is it? Well, I don't like those things. And I say, sometimes if I have the means, or if I feel like, I follow up on that. What do you mean by I don't like that thing? What is that thing? And I grab a pen and I draw it out. Like, okay, let's suppose, that you have a small company that you own. Hold on, these guys will pass by. Yes, with a small motorbikes. Good. So if you have a small company, is there anything wrong with that? No. Good. So I draw a circle. That's your own company. Very good. What's wrong with that? If you find a good parent company that you purchase products from, okay, and then you decide that, oh, that's good, and I'm going to sell it, to my customers. Is there anything wrong with that? No, there's nothing wrong with that. Good. What if you tell somebody that, hey, I'm doing so awesome with this company. I've been buying products from them. I'm using them. Why don't you do the same thing? What's wrong with that? There's a big pause. There's nothing wrong with that, obviously, just like telling anyone, hey, I've seen a movie. It's incredible. Go and watch it. Hey, I've purchased a house, okay, in this neighborhood. Okay, go and buy one of these. Referring, there's nothing wrong with referring. So MLM as a concept, a pure concept, there is nothing wrong with that, because there is nothing. It's a concept. You join a third-party company, you use their products, you pass it on to customers, and you tell others that, why don't you do the same thing? That's MLM. Now, that's a concept. Now, what happens, okay, that, again, I would like to tell that people, it's people that whoever come up with an idea that they don't like, or they have a problem with MLM, it's their problem, meaning that when they start with an MLM company and they stop for whatever reason, I find in most cases, it was, I shouldn't say it was their fault, but I should say they weren't thorough. They weren't treating it as their own multi-billion-dollar company. They didn't have the right mindset. And I'm not blaming them. Don't get me wrong. They just need to grow up. Sometimes, when people give me like a company name, let's just say Amway, for example. Like, most people joined Amway back in 80s or 90s. And then somebody said, well, isn't that, I did Amway, like 200 years ago, and I failed. And I didn't work for me. I said, are you the same person today? What you were back then when you joined Amway? Are you the same person? No, I'm not. Because that person failed. Why? Because that person might not have been that wise, or that person might not have, didn't have the perseverance. That person might have been lazy a little bit, or that person might not have had the need to actually build something because you were in your 20s and you might have not been that much of a care. So my point is that people have a problem, okay, with their own understanding and why they actually failed at the company. And the rest of them, yes, I understand there are bad companies. Yes, they make, some bad names to the industry. There are some, bad leaders, especially now. Be careful with the most companies. I just want to tell you, I can tell you that I have the authority on that to say, because I know a lot of companies. I know composition plans. I sat down with, numberless people, seeing the composition and, what they promote and how they work. That's not good. That's, most of them are, they're just not ethical. There are many leaders, okay, that drag people with really bad composition plans that would force people to actually join with big startup packages. Do it now, do it today, just be on the ground floor and all those things. Okay, those are not that's not the right message. And yes, it messes people up under their mind, their experience. Okay, that happens. And then now comes doTERRA, okay, which is none of that. Because if you see how doTERRA communicates, the leadership, okay, it's all product-based. It's a mission. We have a beautiful mission, okay? And hopefully none of you are doing the crazy MLM sheets, okay? But most MLM people do, okay? When they want to get you into the business, okay, right now, join today. Doesn't matter if you don't understand, just join today, buy the largest package, okay? You become rich. Don't do any of that because that will fade away. That will fade away in no time. Mm-hmm. So make sure that you follow, okay, but doTERRA teaches you that do your class, let people experience the oils. It will take time, okay? Let them go through the process. Let them buy some whatever oils they want, okay? And then help them to become good, solid customers over the months, over the years. Now, that is true network marketing. That's the alpha and omega. That's where it begins. That's where it ends. Anything more, okay, manipulating people. Anything more, you just don't do that. Mm-hmm. And be aware of most M&M companies. So obviously, I don't need to preach you about doTERRA, how beautiful that is. And I see most of the leaders are here for the right reason, which is beautiful because doTERRA maintaining that spirit. And I like that. And my group here in Eastern Europe, some of them, came from MLM. Unfortunately, they did their transition beautifully because now they're all about the oils, all about, helping, creating healers in every single home. And let people grow up, okay? It takes time. Let's not push them. Let's not get their money out of them. And none of the things that most MLMs do. So yes, this is why most people have a problem with MLM because they have a misunderstanding, they don't understand the concept, or they have a bad experience. And I understand that. And let's have patience towards them. Let's have patience because I see sometimes people struggle, okay? How come they don't understand? How come they don't understand? Because you didn't understand 10 years ago. That's why. Just give them time. Love them. Give them oils. The oil will get the job done. So that's my philosophy on that in short terms.
Oh, lovely. Sounds great. Kari, when was the one thing that surprised you in your journey? Something like, wow, I did not expect that happen.
In the journey of my lifetime or with doTERRA?
In network marketing in general, on the concept.
Well, let me tell you, even though you understand or you kind of you comprehend the capacity of duplication and what an MLM company or a composition can do, but when it really starts happening, okay, that's when you're going to be surprised, and that's when you're going to harvest. Most people, unfortunately, well, not in doTERRA, but in my experience, they leave before the harvest. Fortunately, I didn't leave. I stick around, okay, and I experienced the growth, something that you cannot control anymore, and that can be surprising, okay, when over a quarter of a year, or maybe in a month or two, you grow as much as you've grown in the past 2 years or 3 years. Mm-hmm. That's insane. Now I understand that. I've experienced with doTERRA, with my previous company, so that can be surprising because even though you understand the concept, because duplication, it starts really duplicating, at the third, fourth, fifth level, it can really start driving because that's how it is. That's the multiplication, if you understand the concept of network marketing. But that can surprise you. The other thing what I should mention is that people surprise me sometimes. Let me tell you, that's because sometimes some people you think, oh, this is going to be great. Let me tell you, and nothing will happen. Nothing, absolutely nothing. And the other person, kind of like, oh, he's wasting my time. And then, oh, look at this. It's growing, doesn't stop, growing. So people can surprise you. So that's why don't give up on anyone. And I had some really good surprises in my life here and there in these two companies that people, became such a good leaders who, unfortunately, I myself I was in a mistake of thinking too little of them. So I try to have now the mindset that anyone I meet, I see them, the greatest possibility, that they can actually do this and change their lives. Now, this one story for today. I was in the middle of a lake, so what the heck is that in English? Matrac.
Mattress. Mattresses.
Mattress. Okay, mattresses. Okay, very good. So, the mattresses, that you pump up, okay, and you go into the lake. So I went to the lake, and so we started coming out, and this one girl started chasing the other one. And she said, I can't catch her. So let me just catch her. I'll catch her. So I caught up with her, but, we left the whole group behind. And so we started talking, and, I just asked questions. I always ask, so what's up? Who are you? I didn't know her. So it turns out, unfortunately, her husband has died in an accident, okay. I started asking questions. Turns out she lives in Indonesia, which, by the way, doTERRA is about to open, or started, doing the pre-registration. And so I say, I got something that you might be interested. And so I started talking basics, and this is what she said. Oh, okay. I think I can help you. I think I can help you with this in Indonesian market. And I told her, no, you can't help me because I don't need your help. I can help you. And that was like a little bit of pause. What do you mean? Because I can help you. Don't look at it that you need to help me. I don't need anything. What I can do for you with this company and with the oils and with the Indonesian market, you don't comprehend it yet. You don't understand. And in fact, I told her one story. One of my successful leaders. Hey, I got somebody here. Also, a single mom like you, and now look at where she is, and you can do the same thing. So the point being here is that you need to understand that what you have as a tool, as a vehicle, as an asset with doTERRA, that's for people. Because, okay, let me just turn it around. doTERRA never needed me. doTERRA doesn't need me. I need doTERRA. So that's a different mindset. I like to change it around, meaning that doTERRA still would be $2+ billion company if I wasn't here. I need that doTERRA. So I had this mindset when I approach people. I truly believe that I have something that can help them. I have something as a tool with doTERRA, with the oils and with the engine that can help them, that can change their lives. And they are missing something. I know in many cases they are missing something. And again, true story, because, she's in she's in Indonesia, COVID messed up her business, okay. Russians come in, okay, they are buying up the assets, okay. Now what am I to do? And she says, well, this could be a good deal, and then again, it's a big help. So if you know who you are, if you know what you have in your hand, if you have that attitude that you have something that everybody needs, and you have this attitude, I think that's when you can really help people.
Mm-hmm. Okay, sounds great. Now, Kari, you were on the top level in your previous company. You are on the second top level as a Blue Diamond, but time to time I check statistics, and usually I see that you are the top number one income earner in Europe. And so definitely you are a top earner. Could you please tell us, what does it take to be a top earner? What do they have to think or do? What's the roadmap?
Yes, well, you just opened up one book, which is like long chapters and long discussions, but I can summarize that to you. The shorter version is what you need to remember. The shorter version. If you've ever watched the movie Achilles, no, it was Troy. Okay, and that was this one character called Achilles, which you know from history. Now, in this one scene, okay, when they captured the queen or a princess or whoever, and then they were together in the tent of Achilles' tent, and then they had a conversation. Now listen up to this. So they had a conversation. So Achilles was talking to this queen and prince. I can't remember her name. And there is one time she said, so what do you want? What do you want, really? And this is what Achilles says. I want what everybody wants, but I want it more. Mm-hmm. So I could finish this up because I want exactly what you want. And, I held seminars, all over the planet. And anytime, I ask the same question, what is important to you really? Now let's spend 2 minutes on what's important to you. And then always comes that, oh, my family is important to me. Oh, my health is very important. Oh, my financial freedom. Guess what? It's important to me, okay, but I want it more. Mm-hmm. And I know it's a very short answer, but I can tell you that you will grow into that. You will understand, okay, that you will stop compromising, because in many cases, people tend to compromise. Oh, this is good enough for me. I have this whatever, or I can do that. And in their mind, they have limitations. I have limitations. That's why I can teach it. But fortunately, my limitations are higher at this moment, but I still have limitations. Everybody has limitations. I understand my limitations, and I'm working on that. That's why I can teach it to others that, hey, you need to stop compromising. Because I had these really incredible conversations. You know, how many times, I had with moms, okay, and with families and with guys that, hey, why do you do that? Oh, because I have to do that. I said, do you really have to do that? Why do you? And then we come to a conversation. No, I don't have to do that. I choose to do that. I said, nah, it's good. Yes, now you understand. You choose to do that. Now, why do you go there? Why do you have that? What's this? And then just stop compromising. I had this one video which I made. I started making these, I even before social media and Facebook, and Instagram, I started making some videos that you guys can search on, on the internet. I have a couple of concept videos, and this one video, in fact, I can tell you two of them. One of them, I was in America. I was driving. That's not the video. That's where I get the idea that I made this short movie. I was driving in America, and on the radio, okay, this one announcement comes up during the news, kind of like a funny news, that, hey, this one guy, okay, started, just grabbed his shotgun, okay, and he started shooting in his house. He came out, okay, he's like shot his car, the neighbor's car, the cops on him, you can see the situation. So the cops came, okay, grabbed him. Fortunately, he didn't die. He had the right mindset, but they grabbed him and they started, interrogating him. And it turns out the guy is such a good guy. There's nothing wrong with him. You know what happened to him? He was sitting in his apartment. He says, what am I doing here? I can't sit in this crappy couch. What is this couch? This is crap. What's this living room? What's this TV? This is crap. What's this house? He went out. What is this car? This is all crap. I need something much better. So that's the realization he had. But this is bad. I can have more, better. I can have a better life. And again, please translate it into your own perspective, because you might not need a better car, but you might want to send your kids to a better school. You might not need a better whatever. You might need you might want to purchase a forest. Well, I don't know what you want to get. So again, don't get hung up on those things, okay, where you say, well, money doesn't mean much to me. That's a lie. That's a lie. You don't understand money then. And I don't need that. Yes, I understand if you don't need a nice car, if you don't need whatever, but find those areas which is absolutely important to you, and you will not compromise. You will not make excuses. Everybody has, I think if we are honest to ourselves, everybody has those 1, 2, maybe 3 of them, which is very important, that you don't want to compromise. And make sure you do that. So that's one of them. And the other one, now this is just as important, the other concept movie of what I made. When you sit down in a restaurant, okay, and you order, okay, and the waiter comes up to you and they ask you, so what would you like to order? And that's not the real question. You know what the question is? What would you like to order from the menu? Now, there are some hotels, okay, that don't have menus. So you go up to the room and then kind of like you start looking for a menu. What is the menu? And you call up room service. Sorry, I can't find a menu. I'd like to order. Oh, there's no menu. What would you like to get? What can I get? Everything. All right. I'd like to get half a kilo of strawberry with whipped cream. Certainly, sir. It will be up in 20 minutes. Good. So meaning that menu is unlimited. Now, when you order and then you have a very small menu that you start ordering through your life, that's a big problem. So you can't really order from a menu things that you need if it's not on the menu. So you need to sit down and you work on your menu. It's extremely important. I don't know how many of you actually spend time on that. Now, one thing I do, look at this, how nice. I love this. I started riding my Harley. I bought 2 of them, beautiful bike. And one thing that I do, I have 10,000 kilometers in this baby. last summer, and I just started riding 2 weeks ago. And I ride alone. Somehow it turned out, my friend, running a traditional business has never had time to ride. And somehow I turned out that I put 9,000 kilometers in this by myself. And I made a decision. I'm not going to have a headset, okay? I'm not going to put anything in the music, which I love, by the way. Just riding myself and thinking. Okay? Now, many times, obviously, I think when I ride, and I think about my menu. Okay, how can I extend it? What do I really need? What do I need to cross off? And it's very important because most people they spend more time, okay, on their dogs, okay, than on their own menu. Meaning that what is important to them. It is extremely difficult task if you've never done it before. Try to do this with children, and my kids can tell you that the craziness what we've had in the first couple of years, comparing now when we sit down, it's way better. I wish I had this little clip that I could bring in. Wish I had done, an interview with my children, because they would tell you that now the goal setting, or what is important to them to this particular year, it has elevated to a next level, because it's tough. First it's I don't know what hey, just don't think what you think you can do, just write down what you want to do. Oh, really? Okay. So it's kind of like the mind starts opening up, okay, and it's a beautiful process. Now, you see your children, you see people around you, but when do you see yourself? So you need to work on your menu. So answering to your question, I think people have really bad menus that they can order from, okay, and they don't have this kind of like this catharsis, so to speak, or this emotional drive that, hey, I can't live this anymore. I'm going to go out to set a fire on my car because this is crap. I deserve more, or I'm going to do this or do that. It's extremely important. And I like to create that environment and just find your group, find people that you can sit down and start dreaming, start thinking about how you can help people, what you can come up with your family, what kind of legacy you can create, what kind of things you can come up with. Just it's extremely important, Olivier, and that's my message to everybody in this conference call, in this section, that if you want to elevate your bank account, if you want to elevate your income, you need to have a better mind. You need to have that because you will never attract it, and you go back compromising. Oh, that's good enough. It's not good. That's. Okay. I don't know if I've been able to answer your question.
I love it. This was great. And then Kari, why did you actually change to doTERRA? What was attracting you here? What did you find here that you could not find in your previous company?
Well, I know that's a big subject. I know it's well, in short terms, in a conference call like this, I couldn't say no, meaning that I wasn't looking for a company. I wasn't going to change. In fact, in the morning when I went into the company and I sat down with Kirk was the first person that I've ever met, in doTERRA in the building. I didn't have the intention. In fact, I told the Goddards, Natalie and Andy, that, hey, I'm with this company. I've been there for 14 years, very good. I'm just trying to get a picture for somebody. I'm not here to join a company. And in the afternoon, I was in Utah then. My family was back in Budapest. In the afternoon, Utah time, I called my wife. I said, hey, I'm switching companies, looks like. She said, what the heck? What are you talking about? And then I had a conversation with her over the phone. You know what she said? She said, all right, this is the deal. You go to doTERRA and I stay here. I said, well, that's not how it works. But hey, honey, let's just cool down. I understand. So why don't I jump online, okay? I get you a ticket, okay, tomorrow, or just get out. So in 2 or 3 days, okay, I picked her up at the airport in Utah. And we had a meeting with Dave Sterling in the morning, and then just had some of the founders later on. And you just couldn't say no. It's insane. Honestly, what doTERRA has when it comes to network marketing, nobody understands. I can tell you right now. And don't stress out with people. Don't try to make them understand, because they will never understand. So don't sit down with MLM people and try to convince them, because they don't understand. They need to really start using the OERs, feel the environment, see the honesty of the company and their mission. So obviously, because I took the time I took the effort investigating, and because my wife, I had to help my wife to see the picture. That process really put me into the mindset that, hey, I have to do this, which is insanity, by the way, because nobody does that. I don't think too many people ever in the MLM industry has done what I've done at this level, out of no reason, because, you know, the company wasn't chasing me. The company wasn't bothering me. The company wasn't bad. You know, it was an incredible company, always nice to me. There was no issues, and I just decided to leave. I know it's crazy, but I think it's a doTERRA spirit, and it really caught me, and it really got into my heart, and I still have it. You know, every time, you know, this is what I do. Just my daughter, I hope she was here, but she drove home. Anywhere I go, everywhere I go, I give people oils. Even today, you know, I was out there, you know, in the lake. Guess what I did? Papa, hold on. This is what I do. Once I was done, we got out to the lake. Hey guys, make sure you use this because after the sun. So guess what? There was like 6 people there. I didn't even know 4 of them. Everybody's using the oils. This is nice. What is this? Oh, this is, I know doTERRA. I heard about it. So my mission is, I look at those guys, I'm looking down, always thinking, how can I share the oils? Because this is incredible. This is not a company's product. There is no ideology. There is no story. You know, I wasted so much time in my life with my other company where they come up with an idea which sounds so good. They come up with a product, okay, and they make a story, and, you know, they just come up with all that, and it doesn't work. It didn't work. And so some of the products that I spent a year of my precious time, they are actually not in their product line anymore, because it's, you know, it's an ideology, it's an idea that somebody comes up with, you know, maybe at marketing, that it sounds good, okay, they come up with the story. Now doTERRA is nothing like that, because all the products what we have, you know, the base products, basically the oils, that's nature. Nobody has come up with that. Nobody is manufacturing these. This is not doTERRA's products. These are the nature's products. doTERRA is making sure that they are unadulterated and they are sourced at the right location. That's doTERRA's product. Isn't that beautiful? I can tell you, you will never find a video, because I had several lab tours with my other company. I've been around scientists many times. I've seen everything. I've been to fields, all over. You will never find a video where your top scientist, now meaning Dr. Hill, standing next to a tree, a guy who's running product development and research, he's standing next to a tree and says, openly admits to everybody, this is what the tree gives. That's what you're going to give people. There is, honestly, there's nothing more simple than that on the planet. That's what the tree yields. We're going to give it to people. There's no modification. Now, see, he excluded himself from this. He didn't say, I'm Dr. Hill, I'm the coolest guy on the planet, and this is my patent. But he didn't say that. This is a tree. Look at how beautiful. And it is oils, and let's not touch it. Let's not modify it and give it to people. Now, how can you say no to that? And I know that people deep inside are, just like me, attracted to the idea. That's what I want to keep, you know, in Europe and in wherever I am in Asia. I want to make sure that wherever we are, I want to make sure that we keep this pure spirit of doTERRA, and we keep this spirit which is not dividing people, not isolating people, that, oh, I love that ingredient, or I believe in that. No, I don't believe in that research. doTERRA keeps unity. So that's why I said yes. And I love the composition plan. You know, I've seen a lot of people succeed. You know, I had 7 people around me, very close, first or second level in my previous company, who made at least $1 million. In fact, when I left doTERRA, when I left my previous company, I joined doTERRA. You know, a little time later, one of my ex-leaders called me and said, hey, let's celebrate. And he just made $5 million. So I have all those things that people made a lot of money, but it's still not for, really, I can say honestly, it's not for the masses. And doTERRA's composition, the beauty of that is that at whatever level you are at, you can really start making a satisfying income. Now, I don't want to go into compositions, but that's not possible with most companies. And again, please exclude all the new companies because they will never survive. You know, I see so many times, oh, this is the newest composition plan. I said, all right, very good. This will disappear. So those long-lasting companies that you can see, if you want to compare doTERRA's composition plan, nobody can match it. Nobody can match. Just please believe me. I've seen them. The retention, that's one name of the game. But their composition and how people can make money, at even for the smallest level, and then advancing, and they are making really good money at all the level. Nobody does that. I can tell you, nobody does that. So the future is great. I like doTERRA. doTERRA doesn't really talk about, how, $1 million earners and but sometimes it would be really good to know. And maybe, we could squeeze this out of Lindley, Corey Lindley or some of those guys that, how many millionaires we've made. Because I think that we've made more. doTERRA has made more millionaires and hundreds of thousands than most companies, than I think 80% of the companies. I can tell you right now, even if you just compare it in a short 12, 13 years, a decade and a plus time frame. But doTERRA doesn't talk about that because that's not the initiative. That's not their spirit. But still, there's nothing wrong with money. It's okay. You need to use it wisely. You need to have it, because you deserve it. You need to pay the price. Okay, and doTERRA is the right tool for that, certainly.
Mm-hmm. Sounds great, Kari. Thank you. Now, I have another question. What are you the proudest of since you joined to doTERRA? Something that you did that if you weren't there, it would have not happened?
What I did? Like myself or who?
Yeah, yourself. Like something that you personally accomplished.
Well, yes, I can tell you right now. And this is good because Olivier, you speak our language, and I don't know how much you peek into our webinars and all that. I think I'm extremely happy. I can't say I'm proud because I don't like to use that. I'm extremely happy. I'm extremely satisfied with the education system what we have. They're very thorough. I'm so happy, and I'm so grateful for all those professionals that we've been able to attract to our company. Some of them are outsiders. Some of them, as obviously, they are doTERRA heavily. They joined doTERRA. So these aromatherapists, okay, and health professionals and healers. That group, what we have, I think I could say it's almost unmatchable. Mm-hmm. So I'm really happy. I'm so grateful for those professionals, doctors, PhDs, chiropractors, anyone, aromatherapists, okay, natural healers that I have probably with my help, we've been able to gather together as a good group and been able to educate at least the Hungarian part of my group. And it's not only that, because I know Romanians and Slovakians and Czech, they are applying them, and they are using, some of their resources. So it's pretty much all Eastern Europe, my group. So that's one thing, is the incredible education, because if you educate people about the oils, okay, they will use them heavily. They will live with the oils. So that's my message regarding that.
Okay. And maybe a final question, because now we are getting to the end of the call, is that do you like to read? Could you give us a couple of books that made an impact on you?
Yeah, again, remember, it's the list what I have. Yes, I like to read. In fact, that's if you're close to me, you know exactly that when I talk to people, when I advise people on their mindset, I always bring up books. Mm-hmm. Now, again, it's easier for me to give out one book, which I find in my past 20 years, what I've seen. First of all, let me just tell you something. Try to avoid most of those self-help books, because I can tell you right now, most of them are written by people who've done nothing in their lives. So again, I know it sounds extreme, but look at MLM. Still, the biggest network marketers that I know, they've never written a single book ever. But all those MLM books, okay, most of them, they are, and you don't know the stories, unfortunately, but I know the stories, especially those Utah-based companies and trainers. They've never done anything really extreme. They've been purchased by companies. So try to avoid those self-help books, most of them. try to read autobiographies. That's the best thing I can advise to you. Pick a successful industry or anything and read them. I devour them. Now, one advice,
like Elon Musk or like Elon Musk.
Yes, exactly.
Like
Whoever you like, whoever has reached anything. Mozart, for example. Last year I read another autobiography of Mozart. People that has reached anything extreme or something that you like, okay, and they value themselves. Mm-hmm. Because be careful about many books. People are, very big. This industry, this self-help book and whatever, that's just be careful. So pick out books where people have accomplished things. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Mozart and Elon Musk, and you can just go on, okay? And Tony so
Robbins,
one book that
what do you think, Tony Robbins?
Well, Tony Robbins is unique a little bit. I've been to his seminar, the Awaken the Giant Within, so 3-day seminar. Yes, Tony Robbins, it's okay. Yeah. But before Tony Robbins, I think there are other. Jim Rohn, for example, is much better. But let me tell you one book, because I need to give you one book. I'm just giving you one. Mm-hmm. That's Andre Agassi, Open. Andre Agassi, Open. The tennis player. The name of the book is Open. Mm-hmm. Now, I can tell you, and then you will back me up on this. This book contains everything that a person needs in their lives. Everything. You name a subject, anything. You're losing your dream, coming back. Biggest obstacles. Finding what is meaningful. If you've heard about Andre Agassi, all you know is that, this guy, he was a good tennis player, but you have zero clue that he became successful and he won most of his Grand Slams after he realized what is really important to him. That's when, when his friend, his best friend's daughter was really sick and she was in a hospital. Okay. And then he found himself bringing things to that sick child. Oh, that child needs an air conditioner. All right, I buy one, because he had the means, he had the time. He started doing things for $1 and he says, this is the greatest thing. That's what I want to do. I want to have people. And that's when he grew, and then he went back to the tennis court, and he did everything he did. But that's only one example. That book, I'll tell you, read it. I think I read it 3 times. I have it. I have so many bookmarks, okay, and notes from that book. So I think for the next 2 years, whatever you're reading, okay, your scriptures and your whatever you are reading, read it along with that at least twice and make notes. You'll know what I mean once you meet me and you tell, I understand now what you mean. So read that book, Andre Agassi, Open. That's what you need. You'll find all the answers that you need, okay? How to build up doTERRA and also how to build up your life, because doTERRA it cannot be excluded building your life. Mm-hmm. Look at your life and look at your leaders holistically. Don't only look at they are doTERRA builders. No, look at themselves. Are they okay? Are they okay financially? How's their health? How's their family? How's just like that's how you help them. The same thing to you when you want to advance in doTERRA, and then you search out, okay, different techniques, okay, and different things. Always search out things where you can change, where you can become better, how you can become a better person, how you can do this or how you can do that. But I think, again, Andre Agassi, Open will help you with that. You're going to love that book, I'll tell you right now.
Oh, definitely. I will make sure to read it. Started.
Yeah, make sure you read that too. You love it. You love that book.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Kari, for your time. And especially we've seen your battle with the mosquitoes. Well,
it just, you just need to repeat some of the, now I put the motivate on. They are not biting. I don't even have a single bite. They just keep bugging, just come around me and they leave. Yeah. So the oils work fantastically. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. Guys, I hope you enjoyed. I'm sure you did learn a lot from this. This is someone who really, showing the way, with a great example. And I would like to encourage you to, whenever we make this call available in your various Facebook groups, please make sure that you tag your team members, because this information was super useful. So, Kari, thank you very much, and have a lovely day, lovely evening.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me. Okay, and then see you later. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Take care. Bye bye.